bikers culminating today in Chennai. So we have some wonderful bikers who have come from across the continents. They will be here available with you to share their experience. So Big Biking Commune was started about a year and a half ago. We had discussed the plans. In February, we had one of the biggest biking events, biking festival in Chennai. We received a very good welcome by all the bikers, the biking community, solo riders, biking brands. So that was a big success in February we did. After that, we wanted to take the journey forward. Audible? Yeah. So we have been experiences for the motorcycle riders who are passionate about riding. That's one of the outcome is the WOW ride. It's called World on Wheels. The whole idea was to have together a group of experienced bikers who have come all together to ride under the WOW platform that we have created. We have with us Deepak Kamath, who is the lead on this ride, who comes with a lot of experience. He's the only Indian who's gone on the Antarctica continent also with a motorcycle. More about him, he will be able to tell you a lot more. But he's been riding from 1994, Deepak? So 1991. So he goes a long way in experiences with Deepak. Deepak has been able to bring with him a few of his experienced friends. So we have Karolis, who's from Lithuania. Karolis is known as the rider, the coldest ride. So this must be a different experience for him because he's been always riding in -10, -15, -50, 55 degrees. And in India we gave him +40, +45 degrees. So you can hear a lot more about his experiences there. Then we have Declan, who's from Ireland. Declan comes with a lot of, he's gone in about 68 countries he's taken the motorcycle and gone to. And also in Ireland he runs a lot of road safety initiatives. We are hoping to get on the bandwagon with him and bring some of that experience here. So Declan is a treasure chest of the riding. He's been riding for ages and he carries a lot of experience with him. Along with that, we have two more riders. Veena Shetty, who's from Bangalore, one of the earliest women bikers who's on the road to motivate more women to come on the road, take to motorcycling, making it more comfortable for women to get on the motorcycle and go out. We also have Mandeep from Delhi. Her name is Mandeep Merwah, but we call her Mandeep for short. So she is also a woman biker. So we have brought all these 5 excellent bikers together on a single platform. It's called World on Wheels. So we wanted to give that entire unique flavor of how to go around discovering new destinations on a motorcycle. So that experience itself is different because you own the road and the bike is with you and you own the bike, that's all. So they go around exploring and we call it the Spice Route because they had to travel from Goa all the way into the Spice Land and culminating here in Chennai. So I'll quickly call on stage, introduce the riders so you can then have an exchange with them also. You can find out what was their experience in this entire ride that we have put together. So we'll start off with Deepak.
Questions?
They want a little more than questions.
Okay, so I definitely would like to have the team alongside with me on the when we exchange our stories. Karolis, Declan, Veena, Mandeep. Can you please go more? This has been into India for this is his 6th visit to India, and this time he's coming with a big group of family members. I've been following him for quite some time because to challenge the element of weather is something that you really need to have the guts and foresee how the preparations need to be done. So that's Karolis for you. When he said I'll be visiting India, do you think we can ride on 2 wheels? I've never ridden in India, though I've been visiting here for quite some time. So he gave me the idea of getting a ride together. Declan, who just finished his ride, he's a guy who travels world in small parts. He does his travels 10 weeks a year and parks his bike in a place, goes back to that place during the next year, rides for 10 weeks, parks his bike in another place, goes back to work in Ireland, then again takes off 10 weeks and That's how he's been traveling the world over the last 5 years. It's phenomenal. His planning skills and execution skills are simply mind-blowing. So he's been an inspiration for me in my planning, meticulous to the T. Having a plan A is what we all look at, but having a plan B and a plan C, should everything go wrong, how do we roll it down our sleeve? That's where Declan comes in. And incidentally, this time when he said, oh, I would love to visit India, because we met on a godforsaken highway on the Pamir, which is part of the old Silk Route in Tajikistan. I mean, if you ask me now, what were the coordinates that we met him, I wouldn't be able to tell, and neither would he, because we are on the road to hell. That is the second highest international highway in the world. And in the middle of nowhere, we bump into him and we take off our helmets and he sees 3 Indians. And he'll tell his experience later, but that's where I parked an invitation to visit incredible India. And probably that is one reason for, and when Karolis is also here, we three been planning rides over the last 2-3 years. So when the 3 of us got together, I reached out to the Big Biking Commune guys and said, hey, you know what, guys? We have a fantastic platform to put the world on wheels. This is a brilliant opportunity for us to connect with the community with experienced people like this visiting India. I'm not denying the fact that international riders don't come into India. There are so many people who come in, but how many of them actually get to interact with the community, share their experiences for something for us to take back home? These guys have been inspiration to me, so why shouldn't I give the community in India an experience to interact with these guys and take away some of the planning skills, the execution skills, and how we do it? A lot of people ask us, how do you do these things? Until we meet and talk, people will not understand how we do it. So that's one reason we put this right together under the Big Biking Commune aegis, and Royal Brothers, who's in Bangalore, supported us with the motorcycles. Then Big Biking Commune is all about connecting with the community. We invited Veena Shetty from Bangalore and Mandeep from Delhi. This gave a team a beautiful platform to do a ride covering almost close to 3,000 kilometers from Goa until Chennai via Kanyakumari. Declan asked me sometime, just about when he was ready to travel out of Ireland, do you think I can get on Jacinta, his wife? I said, please do, because I always encourage people to travel with their better halves. It can be, if you're married, travel along with your wife. If you're in a steady relationship, you can still, travel with the person with whom you're in love with. And that gives you an entire different perspective to life and travel outside of your comfort zone. And I think, Declan has now, made me realize that there are people like him who wish to have Jacinta on their road, and the way this couple has traveled is really mind-blowing. Simas, son of Karolis, he has been the cinematographer, the cameraman. If you see some nice pictures, if you see any pictures that would go on the social media, mostly it would be Simas, because he's a freak with the camera. I mean, the way he handles his camera is really beautiful. So this is what travel is all about. We capture some beautiful memories which is otherwise lost. We look at pictures 25 years or 10 years down the line. We look at pictures and go into that moment, and that's what the photographers are good at. So this is the team that went around 3,000 kilometers on Big Biking Commune's Spice Route Odyssey. We are open to questions.
And here we are, riding. And I thought to myself, okay, sightseeing, looking around, bit of 3,000 kilometers, what is it? I mean, normally I do 1,000 a day, so it's like, we have 9-10 days for 3,000 kilometers. It's simple, warm weather, group of people, normally I do alone. So completely opposite from my travels. And here we start. 5:30 in the morning, wake up, coffee 6 o'clock, after 2 hours breakfast, then Indian lunch, temple, and then at 6 o'clock, pitch dark. Normally I don't drive in the dark. And then 3 hours of dark, directly to the exact event like this, or community of bikers where we share our experiences. And this, on the end of the day, brought me to the very tough ride for me again. And I said, okay, this is exactly how I like. So thank you very much, Deepak and Big Biking Commune. I received from Indian ride what I could not even imagine.
Absolutely.
I could have it here. And just to put the cherry on a pie, I was in another event a couple hours ago and made a little bit of delay here. So someone was calling me, please, we were keeping people, and taxi came, a motorcycle. I have never ever been a passenger, and for the very first time in the very worst possible traffic, I was a passenger now here. So yeah, many first times here in India, and I really
Let me know if there is anything else between this evening and tomorrow morning. We'll take that as well.
incredible India. So I have written nearly all across the deepest lake in the world, Baikal, on the ice, 800 kilometers in 7 days alone, no satellite phone, no camping gear, no food, no motorcycle, with motorcycle, and many crashes and cracks, open water, and it was not too much. So next winter I went for the coldest inhabited place on earth called Oymyakon in the northeast Siberia. It was 1,000 kilometers on these so-called rocky boats where people were building the road and dying and all things. So one night only in the tent at -48, and the lowest temperature while riding in the morning was -52. So at the top speed, what was manageable at that time, receiving from the bike couldn't go more because techniques also suffering those temperatures, was 75 below Celsius from what I was receiving directly to my face. If you look at my social media, you might see my face at that time was green, but not because of the cold, because of the tape I put here to disappear. So I have reached the coldest place on earth, inhabited place on earth, and my team was together, and we said like, okay, so tomorrow we are done, so we go home. But then it started actually, because I do like to swim in cold waters. So we went for the river in the coldest place on earth, which was 0.2 degrees warm water at -52 on the street. Made a little swim and then we so
that if you work on it a little bit more, you can be number one for chaos on the roads. You're actually there already. India is the most chaotic. So for me, very like Karolis, you know, I had a look at the preview for what was being proposed in India, and I thought 300, 350k a day, yeah, I could do a bit of that. That sounds really nice. Like Karolis, I'm used to doing 1,000 or 1,200 kilometers a day, but my God, did I work for the 350 kilometers here in India. And the lads were saying in the morning time, yes, we will start at 5 o'clock in the morning and we will finish. Many nights we rode in the dark. I never have a problem riding in the dark. Actually, riding in the dark can be something very special, I find, but not in India. If you value your life, don't do it in India. But you know, a couple of times I said during the week as well, that you often find, there was one particular night, for example, Deepak and I ended up in a detour that we didn't really want to do. We ended up with 3 hours, in my mind, of the most chaotic ride in the dark that I'd ever done. I think if I was ever about to lose my life, it nearly happened 2 or 3 times on that night. And it was not, I can assure you, a good experience. You know, but I have to tell you, when I look back on it now, like Deepak standing beside me here, I'm looking back at it with a smile on my face, thinking, wow, do you remember that night? So I always say that bad experiences, at the time that they happen, when you look back in hindsight, you look back with a smile on your face. My own story, you know, and I've told it at a few different venues, is really the story of an ordinary man. Starting out as a school kid, riding a motorbike, and how, I guess, my dreams and my aspirations, and we all have dreams, and I really would like to have the opportunity to encourage people to not be afraid to dream, and not be afraid to dream small in the beginning, and then to execute, and then to dream a little bigger, and to execute a little bigger, and to dream really, really big, and execute really big. Think outside of the box. This would be the message I would have to you. And my particular journey, of which I've done many, like Karolis also, I've been to Baikal in wintertime, but my ongoing journey is one that is taking me around the world through about 80 different countries. And you know, a question I actually would have for you, maybe right now, would be if you dug a hole here in the center of the room in Chennai and tunneled through the center of the earth and came out the other side, where would you be? And this was always a very interesting question for me. From Ireland, I would end up being 1,000 kilometres off the South Island in New Zealand. And I can tell you right here in Chennai, and I looked it up today, you will need to be able to swim. I can tell you that for sure. So you'll end up at maybe 600 or 700 kilometres off the islands of Galapagos, which is owned by Ecuador. So for me, I wanted to do an around the world journey that would take in two of these antipodes, two of these extreme opposite points. And as Deepak says, I did it in stages. I took 10 weeks, started out in Ireland, to Kyrgyzstan on the first stage, to Alaska on the second stage, to Costa Rica on the third stage, to Ushuaia and Buenos Aires on the fourth stage, and the fifth stage is yet to be done, which hopefully will take me from Cape Town in South Africa back to Ireland, and that will be around for me. And after that, I plan just to ride 10 kilometres in the countryside on a Sunday afternoon if it's not raining, and that's me.
Yeah, I've travelled around India, I can say that proudly. I've done Leh Ladakh, Spiti, Northeast, Rajasthan, all South, Golden Quadrilateral, that is all India in 9 days. So, and Bhutan as well. That's about me. Started riding 19 years ago, and I'm still riding. Thank you.
So yeah, hi, I'm Mandeep, and yeah, for me the last 10 days really have been very, very special. You know, for me it's a new experience to ride with people I don't know, because I haven't been riding very long. I've only been riding about 2.5 years. But to be with you know, a bunch of complete strangers was an extraordinary experience, because their experiences are so different from mine. So much to learn. So deeply grateful for that, and also Big Biking Commune for organizing this so beautifully, almost seamlessly. You know, so it was really nice. And yeah, I mean, we've had all kinds of experiences. You know, we made it out alive through Kerala. I think that was the biggest experience for all of us. But it's been so beautiful in the south. I mean, because I'm from the north, and I was just sharing with somebody just now. Is I don't know why people ever leave the south. It's so beautiful here. So, and I will be sharing some more of my story as we go through the evening. So yeah, very happy to be here.